trying to stop him from making a big mistake. This one's gonna be rough, but we'll figure it out.
Everything's gonna be solid, man.
What's up, guys? Allsip Truck Repair, working on your rigs again. We're showing you what happens here in the shop day in, day out. Today we're getting comfy. Grab your coffee, some popcorn, and let's roll.
Yeah, you better.
They threw 1 star at us, only cause we told people to pre-buy inspection runs $330. They just gave us 1 star. Somebody out there, somewhere, I don't know, said the pre-buy inspection might cost something else. But guys, how can a pre-buy inspection be a proper, full-on check? We check all the fluids, pop the plugs on the axles, pop the plug on the transmission, measure and check the antifreeze density and freezing point, look for any leaks, run diagnostics, and even do a compression test if we can. We're checking the transmission, the clutch wear, gonna run 2 tests with the countershaft brake. And man, when the guy heard it was $330, plus $6 for the processing fee, he totally lost it. Seriously, I was in shock. And why? Guys, if you're rolling in somewhere paying like $150 for some pre-buy inspection and still keep buying these trucks. For today's truck, the guy showed up with 0 compression in cylinder 6 on his 2019 Freightliner. You already know how this goes. 900,000 miles, rolled back even more, and the guy's shocked it costs $330. Man, seriously, who gets into this business? Nobody's doing this work for $300 or $150. Most you get is some random guy off the street who just glances at the truck and says, "Take it," like it usually happens. Then 2 weeks later, the buyer shows up and man, it's a total mess. Biggest problem? Figuring out how to get this truck back. Look, $160, yeah, that covers the electric work, diagnostics, and mechanic labor. $160 each, right? Even these $320 or $330 we charge. That's just 2 hours of work, electric and mechanic, that's it. How could it be any different? If someone's doing it for free, it's physically impossible. Or they do it for $150, skip a ton of stuff, and then just hustle the guy into replacing all of it. Don't forget to check out my very first podcast. We need your comments and your likes, or dislikes, whatever you want to hit on YouTube.
Пишите что-нибудь, пишите.
Call anytime, no problem. What's your name? Pavel. All right, Pavel. See you. The subscriber who knows what we do just wants to know the cost. He's got really a ton of work. Valve adjustment needs to be done. The 5th wheel setup for the car coolers. Gotta add an extra outlet. Replace the whole front suspension. And then there's the alignment. I don't even know the mileage yet, didn't ask. These are questions you just can't answer without doing a proper inspection. Feels like he's just planning to buy the truck, cause he's talking like he's never even seen it, just doesn't know what's been done, and wants all this taken care of. I know all of you still watching, all our colleagues, everyone's got really little work. I even get why. Since June, from the very start of the month, this rule came into effect, and they're going to be cracking down hard on all those traffic rules in English.
So far, she told us to find a specific IN letter, the very first IN letter that you would have received from the tax office right at the very beginning indeed.
Someone filed my taxes for me. This is a huge problem I definitely didn't need right now.
If you're trying to save money on drivers, your trucking company's toast before you know it. Want to see how?
I don't get how you even end up in a situation like this. I'm pretty sure we've given out these hoses in like 99% of cases. It's just $12 for 3 centimeters.
3 сантиметра?
When climbing, it should work past the fan, yeah.
The fan only kicks in on climbs once the engine temperature hits over 210 degrees Fahrenheit. So first, you've got to get the engine up to that point. If it's still cold, it just won't turn on, and there's really no point trying to force it before it warms up. So you're forcing that button early if we're adding extra equipment, just to make sure it never even reaches overheating.
Sounds good. So I can come over to you, right?
Yeah, of course.
All good. Then we're set.
Thank you. Goodbye.
The AC is working, but we've got a suspicion it's the subframe bushing. Right now we need to pull off the cowl to get at it, and he's coming to try taking it off. We'll see what happens.
They've got another problem too, this section. The mini-full thing inside the oil pan that pulls oil up to the pump, it starts falling apart. It's made of plastic, and over time, especially if bad oil's been used, it begins sucking in air. That kills the engine. A guy might not even make it to 1.5 million miles. Just 1 or 2 times it pulls air in. Even if you shut it down quick, it'll spin the bearings, wreck the crank, and finish off the motor. At 900K to 1 million miles, there's really no point trying to rebuild the engine. It'd cost way too much. So yeah, there's a lot to deal with on your truck down the road, but hopefully we'll get it fixed. Everyone stays happy, and the truck keeps running. Take a seat. We're waiting for Andre so he can do the check-in, because he's the one who decides when we can start working on you. Tea, coffee, whiskey? That's how things work around here. Mechanic, electrician, plumber, gynecologist, and truck driver.
Georgi Ivanovich, also known as Goga, Gosha, Yuri, Gora, Zora. Does he live here?
Yesterday, we had some trouble with an owner-operator, so we had to ask Sergey to step in and haul the load. On one hand, it's pretty handy when the shop and the trucking company are under the same roof. The first podcast is already out on the channel. In it, I share my story about how I moved to the USA and started my business. The pop-up link's gonna show up right here on the screen.
Вот здесь.
On today's list, we're swapping out 4 suspension bags. You can tell they've already served their time, worn out completely. Changing them is pretty simple. 2 19mm nuts, top and bottom. Disconnect the fitting, throw in a new one. One bag takes maybe 20 minutes. We're swapping out all 4 suspension bags, cause they've got cracks like this and just ain't holding up anymore.
You just can't install it because of the studs. And the magnet mounts here, but it's just not getting quite enough power. It goes in here, but only to this depth.
We don't have a metal plate that we could mount here with studs. For example, from the inside.
I checked, I was thinking about putting that bracket in there.
This is gonna be a tough one, but we'll definitely get it done. Honestly, it won't be a problem to just widen one hole a bit and shift it slightly. When we put it in now, it might bend like this.
Let me explain what the problem is. Why it's not sitting straight. This lower hole here isn't round. It's oval.
That's the old one.
To get it straight, you need to loosen the bottom bolt a bit. Place it horizontally.
We'll shoot a second episode to check how it ended up fitting.
We just tacked it on since the mud flaps aren't in yet. All straight, all good.
The oil's already hitting wear. You can smell it burning. Time to change it. Just take a look at this tire. The tread itself is almost like new, but the outer cord is already all chewed up and worn down. It's just the right kingpin. Our verdict, the truck's in good shape. It's got plenty more miles left. Put a little money into it and...
So mainly, you'll need to see the electrician. And what's up with your mileage? So basically, what I'm telling you is I didn't see anything bad here. The oil in the tranny looks fine, and I don't know, you should check. Maybe have them measure compression. Ask if they did the valve adjustment or not your guy, your buddy. He can tell you when they last did it.
We're telling this guy not to take this truck. Don't put money into it. He's talking 30 grand up front, then a huge pile more to get it running right. I gotta say, I used to think about buying trucks for my own fleet, fixing them up and all that, but that's just nonsense. A Volvo with 1.5 million miles and a new body? Never gonna happen. I've never seen a truck run that kind of mileage, plus or minus a million. It's all the same, and at that point, whether they did a rebuild or not, it doesn't matter anymore. I can even tell you, trucks like that somehow don't make it. Freightliner with 1.2 million, 1.3 million, maybe even 1.5, if you just take it step by step. I've got a friend out in Orlando. He's got like 126 trucks, and he's a mechanic himself from Uzbekistan. Trucks hitting 1.5 million miles? No problems at all. You know, he goes through them 3 times, buys a new truck, flips it 3 times, and he only sells it himself on the 3rd round. I can tell you're a straight-up guy. Don't take it. It's one thing to buy some old junk, like an old Ford Mustang, and fix it up, sure. But not a Volvo with 900k miles. My opinion? Stay away. You gotta understand, right now there's a ton of trucks for sale. The market's gotta be totally flooded with these trucks at the moment. I've got at least 2 owner-operators who, because of all these rules and everything else, just packed up and went back to Europe. No you for you, you know? And that's a fact. So right now, trucks and loads are scarce. People are slowly selling their rigs, maybe picking up something better, but the big question is this financing thing. It's just gonna hold you back. Pretty soon, you're gonna need to replace the clutch, service the tranny. A lot of people forget there's still a countershaft brake with a few discs, like on a Freightliner. I pull those all the time. You gotta replace the actuators, the clutch, all the stuff on a Volvo, and dealing with their diagnostics portal is always a pain, man.
I couldn't figure out what the real mileage is.
I can connect to the truck's telematics. It's got the factory SIM installed, so we can see everything that's been happening with this truck over the whole time. I've even had cases before. There's a short video on this, where we caught a truck that was serviced by us and someone rolled back the mileage. Twice. It had 600K. They set it to 300, cleaned it up, swapped the steering wheel, replaced the top part of the dash, changed the seats, reupholstered the seat covers, and some lady, yeah, a specific one from Sacramento, sold this truck without proper documents. She got caught, ended up in jail, thankfully. With a Freightliner, rolling back the mileage is way harder, but on a Volvo, it's much easier. Without telematics, you'd never know. And about tools, you can come by when you need to replace anything. You'll need the right tools: pressure sensors, camshaft sensors, and then the full instructions for disassembling, taking parts apart. All that's online. Basically, you have two options: replace it with the cover, which costs money, or do it yourself from the inside, replacing seals and gaskets. Here, it shows exactly where to apply sealant. See, right here, here, and here. You absolutely have to put it in those spots. Labor takes at least 4 to 4.5 hours, plus parts, so in the end, it's still over $1,000.
Some places are saying 8,000, 6,000.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they take the transmission off just to replace it. There's the top part of the cover, that's one thing. But sometimes, like on a Freightliner, if your flywheel housing leaks, that's a whole different story. You've got to remove not just the top cover, but the bottom one too. And to get to that, you have to take the transmission off. You know, for an $8,000 truck that's worth 30, in your opinion, it's definitely not worth it. They're replacing 2 valve cover gaskets. Yeah, there are 2 of them, and they cost an arm and a leg, like $300 each. But there are alternatives you can use without problems. Even Volvo has a cheaper part number, because 1 valve cover gasket is $300, so 2? That's $600 just for the gaskets. The rear cover itself costs less than those 2 rubber seals, seriously. So, there's alignment. Here's the front, no bushings, pushing, carrier, everything's tight, everything's clear. Here's your old one, you already know it. Okay, if you were swapping it for a 2026 model, then maybe it'd make sense. But otherwise, it's basically just trading one problem for another. Alright, thanks.
Здесь отдельный провод стоит на вторые. Но это могло на самом деле быть консультация такая. Привет. Все, так, ничего не сломалось. А ты? Вот и подошел к концу наш.
That's a wrap for today. Not a ton of action, but still, don't forget to subscribe, drop a like, leave a comment, and we'll see you back at the shop, as always. Bye-bye!
Блин, я реально возмущен, у меня, блядь, сердце, блядь, болит, сука. Это сложная задача, но мы обязательно...